Yes.
John?
That's the last item.
25
Last
now.
item.
Great.
He said that at the moment.
We don't know.
You said what the hate contract.
Prices of the application. These microphones range on to make that financial decision. And they used to probably can't even afford to happen.
To New York.
Someone swung them out. So now we have to see architect and ask about the fall. Right. Present the plan, go in and see if plan wants it.
What's going on?
That's actually.
Is it on right now?
The microphone's getting back, but I have to draw the plans.
Ready to get started?
Well, we can have.
Yeah. Do you already have this?
This is hearing the order.
If you guys wouldn't mind just passing.
Oh,
There's a.
I stopped signing, she was at it.
Yeah,
Fuck,
thank
stop.
you. Appreciate it.
all right, everyone. Welcome to Borough Hall for this land use public hearing. My name is Alan Switcher, and I'm the acting general counsel for the borough president, who unfortunately is unable to make it today. So I'll be standing in for her. I'll hand it over to Lisa Atkins for Lisa.
Calendar item number 1, BSA number 17699BZ, the applicant Rock Proof Inspector LLP, effective community board number 11.
Thank you.
What's the address for this one?
It's
4517 Marathon Parkway.
Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Mike McNees. We're Rockford Inspector. This is an extension of term. We're trying to file early for a 3-story building located 4517 Marathon. It's right off of Northern Boulevard. It's in the C12 district, R31. The reason why we're filing early is for financial reasons. We wanted to refinance the building, so we'd like to have the term locked in going forward, because it's going to expire in May 2020. The building was originally constructed in August, was originally approved in August 2000 for a 2-story cellar building, and then the plans were modified. And what you see today is a 3-story building. The first floor is parking, and there's a cellar level, executive floor area. It's an office building. The parking lot is empty at night when everybody leaves. It has a gated gated entrance for the parking area. It's a beautiful, well-kept building. We're just looking for an extension of the term.
So just for clarification, the term that you're filing early to renew, that remain?
So the term would stay in place, and the current term would run its course through May 2020, and then we would seek a new term for 20 years to run through 2040.
And the community board asked for 10 years. Did they give a reason?
I think that's their policy.
And there's no physical changes to the location?
No changes whatsoever.
All right. If there's no other testimony, then we'll close the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calendar item number 2, BSA 332-79BZ, the applicant Rock Inspector LLP, located at 43-20 Little Neck Parkway, effective community board number 11.
Good morning again, Mike Anacnes, land use attorney for the applicant. This is another extension of term. It's also seeking time to get a certificate of occupancy and a waiver of the rules for late filing. I believe the term expired in 2015. It's a 114 space parking lot that's accessory to the buildings up front on Northern Boulevard. It's gated, so it closes at night. The parking lot's been there since 1980. It's been renewed several times. It's about 45,000 square feet. There are no proposed changes to the use of the parking lot, and it's been maintained and kept in good condition, and we're hoping to have an extension of term, I believe for 15 years. That was the original grant. And there would be no changes to the use. And the reason for the delay in filing, there was a change in the management of the lot and the ownership of the management company that manages the lot. So they weren't aware of the filing, but we made them aware and we filed the application.
So I assume going forward, they'll be more on top of these renewals.
As long as we're the attorneys, they will be.
Okay, and the community board did approve it with conditions, also saying 10 years. So do you want me to read through the conditions the board stipulated, or do you want to respond to any of them?
You can read them, and I don't think we have any issues with any of the conditions that were stipulated.
Okay, and the other question is, since they did impose these conditions, I guess it's either as a precaution or maybe a history. So the first thing was storage only was vehicles only for storage. So have there been any history of non-store related vehicles on this property?
Well, the lot is supposed to be emptied every night, because it's really just for the stores. It's really supposed to be accessory for any stores. So we, to the extent that there was any storage over the years, we explained that to the new management, that that's not allowed.
Then that apparently there's some ponding going on in this lot. Is that something that can be addressed?
I believe that we spoke with the owner and told them that they would have to resurface the concrete if there was any ponding to eliminate that. Or look at the, and they did look at the drainage, and I think that they reviewed the drainage situation at the parking lot, and they made some repairs.
Okay, and another condition was it needs to be repaved and restriped.
Right, so the restriping is going to happen after the BSA approval, or concurrent with the BSA approval. I believe it will be after, it will be restriped. I'm not exactly sure we're in the process of doing restripe, but it will be restriped and repaved where necessary.
Okay, and the waste dumpsters should not be on that property.
Right, we told them about this.
Have there ever been waste dumpsters on that property?
My personal knowledge, I don't know, but if there were any waste dumpsters going forward, there won't be any.
And did you say the lot is already gated or will be gated?
It has a gate. You have to. It's not like it's one of those arms that go up and down.
Then we will close this item and move on to calendar item number 3.
And just for record sake.
Michael Nackman, attorney for the applicant.
Calendar item number 3, BSA number 3058EZ. The applicant Vasilati Associates Architects LLP, located at 184-17 Horace Hardy Expressway, effective community board number 11.
So, thank you. This is a Citgo station seeking an extension of a term of a variance, which expired December 2017. We're looking for 10 years. The gas station, it's a Citgo gas station. It's been there for about 50 years. The biggest thing that's happening is we're converting the repair shop to a convenience store. The convenience store is about 1,400 square feet. We're going to be reducing the parking from 5 spaces to 2 spaces. It's going to be a handicap space. We're adding a pump island. I know there's some history with the site, with the repair shop owner. That tenant is currently being evicted. Should be out soon. And a lot of the issues that were coming up over the years, which were related to storage of vehicles and the maintenance of the site, will be completely eliminated by the new C-store. There really won't be any way to store vehicles on the site anymore, because we're really going to have just a handful of parking spaces, some landscaping, which is on the plans. Another issue that came up is along the Booth Avenue side. There's a fence and a wall that's going to be maintained, repaired and maintained, and all landscaping is going to be done professionally and maintained throughout the course of the term and any renewals. And I believe from my last appearance before the full community board, I had represented that there were no longer storage of vehicles on the site, and somebody had corroborated that. They visited the site and there were no vehicles stored.
Okay, apparently there was a request to install bollards on the site.
And I believe that's along the fence in the rear.
So is that going to be done?
Yes.
Okay, it's not reflected when you were working.
I think those drawings were dated, I think you have an earlier set of drawings. I think that's from earlier in the year, maybe May or April.
So were there revised drawings?
Not that I've seen, but there will be revised drawings that are ultimately submitted to the board. And, everything will be in compliance with zoning, whatever the BSA asks for will be on the plans.
Apparently there's a relocation of a gas tank.
There is, so on the plans, there's a gas tank that's closer to 185th Street that's going to be relocated.
Okay, again, I guess that's the only revised plan. We don't have one.
Yeah. But everything, like I said, will be up to code.
So we will close that calendar item and move on to calendar item number 4.
Calendar item number 4, application number 170492CMQ. The applicant Eric Palatnik, PC. Effective Community Board number 10.
Hello, good morning. My name is Eric Palatnik. I'm currently representing Molly organization, who's working with Borough organization to redevelop what is formerly an automotive service station site. It's been abandoned since the 1950s. It sits off of the Bell Parkway. And we're asking to redevelop it with this proposed gas station, which you see there. And for sake of simplicity for your review, that's up. Just with your records, you can throw out everything for your knowledge, and most of the movements within the record already. The top sheet is a fact sheet because a lot of pertinent information. So it's here summarizing the application and with your records. Most of what we're speaking about. The site is located right now in an R3X residential district. It used to be in a commercial district. About 4 or 5 years ago, there was a rezoning that occurred that took the property out of a residential zoning designation, a commercial zoning designation, and made it the R3X. Unfortunately, the councilman, Eric Ulrich, was not aware at the time that Kamali organization was interested in redeveloping it with an automotive service station. And in the words of the councilman, had he known, he would have prevented the rezoning to stop that, and we wouldn't be here now. For corrective rezoning, really, to bring it back to a commercial designation. So I'm proud to be here today with the rezoning that we've been working on the last for the past 2 years that has the full support of Ward 10, including Mary, who was just here a few moments ago, John Catherine Healy, as well as the Land Use Committee, as well as the full board. They voted not unanimously, but entirely in support of the application. There was some dissenting votes, but most importantly is that Mary was here a few minutes ago, and she got up and left. She didn't stick around with us to say anything, but she's not opposed to it, very supportive. As was another woman, I think it was the state senator's chief of staff. She was right around the corner. They were just here. Surprisingly, what I'm trying to communicate to you is, even surprising to me as the land use attorney, is this overwhelming support for this application. The application to rezone the property will allow its redevelopment with this automotive service station. The automotive service station is going to have 8 gas pumps in front. They call them PEDs. It's got curb cuts along the conduit, and it's got entrances on the ANC. It's up against the elevated railway tracks in the back, and it goes against Aqueduct on the other side. There's a subway entrance down in the lower right-hand corner, pretty much where it falls off. The green stops, where the subway entrance is the A train. It's important because the community was one of the reasons that we excited about this. snack. We did be happy to have everybody use as a drop-off point. People are now dropping off on North Conduit Avenue in front of the subway entrance. And I don't live in the area, but from what everyone tells me, that is a hell of a place to be during rush hour. There's quite a bit of traffic that sits there, as you can imagine, it's on the Borough. So when they're trying to pick people up from the train, everybody says it's quite difficult. They either have to sit in traffic or they're blocking traffic. Cars move. When it does move, they have to sit on the side street on Conduit to drop people off. And when it's not in traffic, it's 70-mile-an-hour speed. So it's you're not good one way or the other. You're stuck there in traffic, dropping somebody off, or you're a target for a 70-mile-an-hour car that's driving down Conduit on the belt service road. So everybody's pretty happy to have us redevelop the site. You can see it's large, expansive. There's plenty of room to use it as a drop-off zone. There's parking in the front. There's plenty of ability to get in and out on all different sides. And one other issue that came up in the community that we should be aware of is North Conduit, of course, is busy, and the concern was traffic coming in and out on the North Conduit. They were afraid that people would be coming out of this curb cut here and somehow maybe coming across traffic. God forbid the other drivers in here from Jersey. Jersey drivers in the PR, so sorry. I won't mention Jersey drivers. I know that's a mistake. And God forbid my grandmother, who's no longer with us, who was trying to get out, she was trying to go across. And when she went across, no one told Jersey. I told my grandmother. She was trying to get across, and she would not realize that she would block all the lanes of traffic to try to get to this road that's right here. And that was what the community board was concerned that somebody would do that. And North Conduit is already a mess. So to prevent that from occurring, the curb cut here is one-way in only curb cut. You cannot have exits. There'll be signage here. It'll be well marked. People will be marked here. Exit entrance here so that they know that they can enter here. People who come to gas stations are creatures of habit. It's going to be, for the most part, the same drivers most of the time coming to the station. Once they learn the habits of where to come in, and then it's marked here not to go out, they'll be making moves accordingly. They'll direct them to go out here, and they come out around this curb cut with plenty of room to come on Compensa Street where you're coming from. And that's the idea of the whole application. It is, again, well supported. I'll mention the final thing that's worthy of note is the operator I mentioned earlier, Borough gas stations. Borough gas stations is quickly come to be known as the premier gas station operator in New York City. You'll know their sites now that I'm talking to you about them. If you drive around, they're the nice ones. And I say that because there aren't very many nice gas stations in New York City, or around the country for that matter. Like Hess used to be when I was a kid. You went to Hess, they painted the curbs white. They planted flowers. That was Hess. They don't have gas stations anymore. They have the trucks. But the same thing here. Harry is caught on. Harry Singh, the owner, is caught on. So we branded all the stations where the bathrooms are immaculate. Everything inside the bathroom is marble. They're wiped down every 45 minutes and fully clean. The outside is a beautiful stone veneer. We did have a semi-conductor kind of looking thing. That's two things. It's landscaped all year long. It's winter landscaping, the summer landscaping, the fall landscaping. It's all seasonal, all on the king. So if you're going to have a gas station in your area, this is certainly one to have. It's a thorough presentation, but it's a rezoning that's been going on for a long time. Final thing I should mention too, I can say final thing, I think I'm forgetting the points. It is a companion special permit application to the Borough Standards and Appeals, because this rezoning will only facilitate a special permit that Borough Standards and Appeals. In order to apply for a gas station in Borough Standards and Appeals, the special permit, the property has to be in a C2 district. So by securing the rezoning, we then allow the Borough Standards and Appeals to act. They have been in the loop on everything that's going on. That application has been filed at the BSA. It's trailing this, unfortunately. We're trying to get it to catch up. But I'll put it back in front of you again, the same exact application. And we'll decide whether at that point I want to treat it. But I wanted to give the heads up without it coming at you next. So if you see this property come across your desk again, that would be more.
The community board, apparently there was discussion about maybe widening one of the ramps.
Yeah, we're at the maximum width that we can have the curb cuts right now, so maybe we cannot widen them anymore. But we did have that discussion with them. They were talking about this curb cut, this curb cut wide road.
But that's the maximum width allowed by DOT.
And we believe it's adequate. I mean, it's DOT prescribes it a width of a curb cut for good reason. I mean, they don't just willy-nilly decide what the curb cut, but they understand this. Curb cuts are allowing to be traffic.
So also one more detail, in the application, it includes some of the properties from the A-Train embankment or right away. Is that accurate?
Yes. The rezoning goes to the end, right here, which I believe is depicted. Excuse me, I'm not-
Well, that's not important. The question is, why were those properties included on this rezoning?
Because for two reasons. First of all, to satisfy the BSA requirement, the minimum boundary width dimension has to be a minimum distance. That achieved that goal. The second thing is city planners of the opinion that it should continue right up to the embankment because it would be awkward to move the solar.
I saw that Community Board 10 also conditionally approved with a restricted declaration. Is that
Yes,
document
that's
you-
one other thing, I'm sorry, there's a little loose end, I apologize. Okay, so one of the discussions that went on for a long time at Community Board 10 was the concern about the proliferation of the ability for a hotel to be created at this property. When we originally started the discussion with the C8 zoning district, the C8 would allow a hotel to occur, no problem at all. The C2 still allows a hotel to occur, but it's sort of limited, doesn't give us much free reign, but still a hotel could occur. In order to prevent the hotel from occurring, we have no intent or desire in any way, shape, or form to build a hotel, nor do we have any problem preventing ourselves in perpetuity or any future property owner from building a hotel. That's not the intent of the goal. So we entered into, or will be entering into a restricted declaration that we filed. It's been agreed in principle with Community Board 10. They'll be the interested parties. By them being the interested parties, that gives them the right to enforce it. So they can bring a suit against the property owner on their own without having to ask the city of New York to intervene on their behalf. And of course, they're better stewards of the property probably than most anybody, so I can watch it. And they were amenable to that, having done a lot of work with them.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your
We'll,
time.
there's another speaker?
No.
Oh, sorry, I have one question.
Another question. For a gas station, this has a lot going
I
on.
was gonna say. Very nice.
So last question, so Cohance Realty will maintain ownership of the site?
Cohance will maintain ownership, correct? Yes. And they're leasing it to Borough.
So is that a long-term lease?
Yes, it's a 10-year term with a 10-year renewal, and then probably another 10-year renewal on that or something, but the idea is that it'll be there for at least 20 years at the outset. Never, who knows what'll happen in 30 years. We always have these conversations with cars, and gas stations when necessary. Everything with electric. Yeah, the electric. Well, charging stations then. The zoning attorneys hopefully will need special approvals for this.
All right, thank you very much. We'll close that item. I believe that concludes our calendar and this hearing. The next land use public hearing is going to be it's scheduled for October 25th, 2008. Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Stuck around? Really, just stick around. Really, I'm learning from you. Jack, are you one of those boards?
What's that?
I'm gonna toss those boards.
Yeah.
We're done with them.
You don't need them?
No. Everything else is electronic.
So,
Everything else is electronic.
information and zoning. Even for back to the BSA.
The BSA, I might need them, yeah. I will.
You want me to hold on to them?
No, I'll take them. Yeah, right. No, well, actually, BSA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, Frank, they don't need you. I don't know. Oh, and yes, did I mention the one that we're doing, what's it called? You'll be getting roasted. Yes, that'll be your roast. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Alex, right?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I'm fairly.
you're in a good spot.
Unfortunately, project.
Let me,
I'm not to a project.
It's council, so you can speak as the council.
Yeah, we could both regret our decision.
In fact, yesterday I took
This is the first time we've ever had.
Commission doesn't like this, I think.
Who's council before?
Was Angelina, before that.
Wait, Angelina worked here though in this office?
Yes. She's now in city council.
Yeah, but I didn't see that much of her.
Well, she's now in city council, so going forward, you'll back with her again.
Yeah, she's like
a
a
tough
land
job.
use, yeah, so I'm sure
That's
this
a
is
tough job. They are getting harassed. What's her name on the show? It's so hard. There's so much going on.
So far, it's pretty
So much
exciting.
going on. Out of control.
Sure. And the council members are taking a new approach to things.
Yeah, oh my God, the council members, it's unbelievable what's going on with her.
You did a good job.
The
class act.
See, how you doing?
That, it's a shame. It's such a great start.
Yeah, it's a race to the left.
They still can't
That's
get.
the word.
I mean,
Thank you.
See you later, nice meeting you.
See what happens.
short to a T.
It's definitely interesting, right? It's different. It's different than we've ever expected.
There's a lot of stuff going on that needs to be addressed, and how to address it is the question.
It's a lot that needs to go on, a lot. And it's a new city.
And so it's hard to see what their results are.
They're gonna.
Impactful.
Guys. Hopefully they can retain a couple of them. Yeah, that's the problem.
Very interesting. She sat yesterday.
Yes, welcome.
Good to see you.
We'll see you next time on the BSA.
That's
Sir.
what else?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I think, we're getting
Fast.
our comments on them.
Yeah, there's nothing for you to do here. Nothing to see here.
Community board.
You get on Philadelphia.
Special
I have to
permit
tell them the problem, the plan, and you say, what's the problem? And you're like, I don't know, and that's the problem.
Right, so we'll know
Yeah,
this
but
for
we're
you.
here to do with the.
I'm curious to see this.
So I can't have my-
So you
I
can
can't
describe it.
They actually, it's funny because before we did this, my father played and he drives out to the east end of Long Island.
Right.
So he has bathroom breaks along the way.
Yeah.
And he's discovered, without knowing who Bull Oil was at the time,
I'll walk out there.
he always
I gotta
knew
be off,
that they
guys.
had the,
I
thanks.
gotta go.
The best.
It's high.
He said the cleanest bathrooms were always Bull
They're
Oil.
every 45 minutes.
It's not gonna call my attention.
Yeah.
Frank, I'll see you later.
Eric.
Hi, boy.
See you
See you
next
later.
time.
I golfed for the first time 2 weeks ago.
Oh, God, I haven't
Like
been out.
6 years.
I haven't been out in so long.
It's so long, and I golfed so well, and all everybody kept saying to me was, "Wow, you're a good golfer." And I was like, you know what? I miss it. When I first started practicing, I was a golfer.
Oh, yeah.
When we were single.
Jeff Wilson.